Okay, so I hope you're all well. Allow me to do a recap on the lesson we covered last week on Tuesday, and today it's going to be a repeat since the work I posted was not attempted by any of you. So last week we talked about text editing. Text editing is one key area in ICT that implies to almost all the problems that you will interact with even after school. So those will be in line of the ICT or any other line now that everything is being digitalized. You will need to know how to work on this to to change the text face, to bold the text, to italize, underline. So it's very important to pay attention to the text editing lesson. So I'm going to make this audio visual lesson to make a better understanding on the lesson. I felt like it was not well understood. That's why the activity was not done. So what is the text editing? We're going to look into that. So the synopsis that we are going to focus on is on text formatting. That includes bolding, italicizing, underlining, font face and font appearance, font size, font color, alignment that can be either left, right, center, justify, drop cap. I'll tell you what a drop cap is. Changing text case, be it upper or lowercase. So that is going to be our key focus on formatting texts. And then remember to carry out this activity, please. Create a document and make the changes that we've listed. You can type an official letter that will have two addresses. The one with the first address will be on the right side. The second address will be on the left, slightly lower side of your document. It should have, in that case, we shall have looked at the alignments, the left and the right alignment. And then it should have an heading that should be centered, bolded, and underlined. So if you draft an official letter, it will focus on major text formatting that we've talked about here. So please create an official letter and post it back as your feedback. So before you do that, let me guide you a little bit on how to carry out this. So the first one is bolding a text. Bolding a text simply means selecting the text you want to have bold and do one of the following. So one, you move the mouse pointer to the mini toolbar above and select above your selection and click bold. So but we need to remember that you cannot make any changes on any text or any part of the document before selecting or highlighting. So when you want to bold any part of your document, you have to select. For instance, if we want to make this part bold, you will have to select it that way. That's when you come to the mini toolbar where we have the bold and click on bold. It shall have changed its appearance. So you must remember at all times before you make any changes, you have to select the part and make the necessary changes that you wish to have on it. Point two, we have click bold in the font group on the top. You can choose to click bold before you type. So when you type, whatever you type will be in bold like that. So if you choose to have an option where you will have bold on before you type anything, it still works. But after you've typed and you've realized it should be bolded, that's when you select or highlight, then come to the mini toolbar and click on B. Or another option, you will have to select and use the shortcut key, the third option. Type the keyboard shortcut key CTRL, that is control key plus B, as it indicated here. That's why I encourage you at all time to learn how to use the shortcut keys. It's very quick and very convenient. So if we have to select again this part and use the shortcut key, we will have control plus B, and it's done very quick without going to the mini toolbar where we have the B. We just used control and B, and we have the changes on. So that's why I always encourage you to use the shortcut keys. And this one here is a short screenshot on the guideline on how to use the instructions that I've shared with you on how to make a text bolded or a section of a text bold. So please kindly note that. And the second part that we want to focus on is italic. Italic is a slightly bending text that will be made possible if you follow the following steps. 1, you select or highlight the text like I first mentioned on bold. Hold down the control key on the keyboard and you can press with I. Or you highlight the text. You highlight the text and come on to the mini toolbar, click on I. You will see your text slightly bending. So that is what italic is all about. Or you can also use the control I to make the changes. Italic. So again, I shared with you to guide you on how to make those necessary changes using the screenshot. It's very helpful. And the third point, underlining words and the space between them. So at what time do we underline? In most cases we underline when we are talking about topics. So the topic will have an heading. The heading will be bold, underlined, centered, or any other way you want to have them arranged. So in this case, you will follow these 3 steps. Select that you want to underline, go to Home tab, on font click on U as indicated, and U is this part, still on mini toolbar, on the font, on Home tab, and choose. If you choose on this point here, you will find options. So like it is indicated here, there are options of types of underlines that you might use. For instance, if you want to underline this part, you select like that, then you come here, you choose. If you can see down there what happens, you get varieties of underlines, more underline options. So that's what it takes. So if you want to underline, you click either on that, but that's not so visual. So that you'll have that kind of look. So that's how we underline. You first of all select, come to you on Home tab, on the mini toolbar, you choose the kind of underline you want to have on, like that. Yeah, so that's how it works. And the fourth one is font face or font appearance. To change the font face or appearance, how your text will look like, what you guys generally call the handwriting in your layman's language. So still on mini toolbar on the home tab. When you click, when you come here, you'll find options on how the text will look like. So for instance, if you want to change these parts to look differently, we'll come here and choose options. So you can see it's changing, keep changing depending on where we are. You can see that. You can see that. So whichever the font face you choose from this part, it will pick the font face or appearance. So it will look different from what we initially had. This is undo and this is redo. So these are the guidelines on how to pick or change the font face. 1. You select the text you want to modify. 2. On the home tab, click the drop down arrow next to the font box. This one, the drop down arrow, this part here. When you click there, you'll find varieties of font face. The third one, a menu of font style will appear. Select the font style you want to use. The font will change in the document, or you can simply use the shortcut keys, that is Control, Shift and F. So if we were to change this and we use Control, Shift and F, what happens? You have that. Unfortunately, I know it's not appearing in our video, but you will have an option of changing the font face or font appearance. So please, you can try that. And to change the font size, that is number 5, select the text you want to modify. On the home tab, click on the drop down next to the font box. This is the drop down arrow. If you click here, you'll find varieties of font size from 8 to 72. So it will depend on the size of the text that you want. It can go beyond 72. Number 3, a menu of font size will appear. Select the font size you want to use. The size will change in the document, or use the shortcut key command Control Shift P. Remember, when we're changing the font face, we use Control Shift F. Now in the font size, we use Control Shift P to make the necessary changes. Or we can use the option of growing font by simply using Control and Grid. Or we can use to shrink the font by using shortcut key Control less. Control less is this. For those who are doing mathematics, they know what this is. And this. So this is great. This is less or small. So if you use Control less, you shrink, which means you reduce the font size. If you use this option, you grow the font size. So note. So this is also a screenshot on how to use your font size, or how to help you make the necessary changes on the font size. And again, I shared with you for another time the shortcut keys and their functions which are used for quick text editing. There are several of them. You can read at your own time. So in our next lesson, please note, we will look at the font color, alignments, drop cap, changing case from upper to lower or lower to uppercase, text highlights color, text effects, subscript and superscript. So that is coming in our next lesson. Today, please make sure you do the activity. Thank you. Have a good day.